Welcome back to the Change Room Podcast. This is Colton Burbridge, not Kieran Golden Kieran. And my co-host Kieran. How's it going?
How's it going? Welcome to podcast number 3. We got a special guest today. Would you like to introduce him?
Yeah, this is my brother Eiljah Burbridge. How's it going?
Hello, y'all. Hello.
So this is the rambunctious one of us 3 Burbridge boys. Out of us 4 kids. We'll get into a little good stuff for today's podcast. But anyway, how's everybody's night going? How are you, Kieran?
It's going good. Looking forward to going to work tomorrow. After the Memorial Day weekend.
Eiljah here is a senior and he's graduating. When do you graduate?
June 9th.
June 9th. So he's coming up on that. He's gonna. Are you in school anymore? Are you out or what?
Got like a week and a half left of school. So
okay, that's more dirt bike riding for this summer about to happen. So that'll be fun. Touch on a few things. Me and Eiljah race together a lot. This year we're doing the team racing at the Norks Round Series, doing the long course team races. So that's really fun. We've hit a couple so far. We missed one due to stupid Eiljah's lacrosse games or whatever. It's not like they're the state champs or anything, but you know, it's is what it is, I guess. Not more important than dirt bike racing, but come on. State champs is saying something, right?
I would rather dirt bike ride, but I had to get that done first.
Cool. So Kieran's got a brother too that we'd love to have in here, but he's not able to tonight. We'll get him in at some point. But first off, I'm going to go over, Eiljah's going to go over his bike list and favorite memories. So take it from the
top. The first bike, same as Colton's, P-Dub 50. I don't remember a lot on it. I remember first starting out on training wheels, and that was scary. I don't know why I was so scared at first, but I was. Started out in a big open field.
What age did you start at?
I was 3. I was 3 years old, and my dad told me as soon as I could ride a bike with no training wheels, I could take him off the dirt bike. So I grinded at that. Finally was able to, ride a bike on my own at 3. And so we took off the training wheels at 3, and it kind of went off from there.
Just had to be like his brothers.
Oh, yeah.
With no training wheels.
And then after the P-Dub, I went to the Honda 50 for a little while. Wasn't that big of a step up, but it was, something a little big. I wasn't on it for a while. Don't remember much. But then I went to a 110. And that 110, I had a blast on the 110. I did a little races with it a long time ago. It was a few. Can't remember a lot of them. 110, picked it up at it was super late. We picked it up at 11 o'clock one night. And I was super excited. Got it. It's like what is it? A 4-speed, 3-speed?
It's a 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's something weird. Had a blast on that. And then what was after the 110? I'm pretty sure it was your KTM 65.
Yeah. That was a great bike.
First clutch bike.
I hammered that thing. Just for you.
So Colton handed me down the 65. I don't know why I didn't ride it at all.
No.
First clutch bike. Had to get used to that for a while. Had a blast on that. I remember doing a lot of races. I even have a YouTube video Dad posted a long time ago of me racing.
We'll put that on our YouTube channel because that is one of the most hilarious videos I've ever seen of Eiljah. It's a good chest mount.
Person.
It is so funny. Yeah, go check out our YouTube channel. So we'll post it there because we still have the video. And man, that's so funny. He just eats crap. Just on this little kid on his
I don't know if that's the first lap or second lap. But all of a sudden, I'm riding and I hit a rock or something. I don't remember. And all of a sudden, my hands just come off the handlebars and I bit the ground so hard.
Anyway, go check out the video. We'll post it up. So everybody can
on our
see
YouTube
it,
page.
It's a really good one. Yeah, I'll get it off. I'll get it off the YouTube. We have it on. We'll post it on Change Driven YouTube. But anyway, continue.
I actually got first. I came back and got first that race. I was really surprised. It was the last lap, and I finally caught the leader. And it was Jabe was there with us, and me, you, and Jabe. I don't know who else was. We were watching the higher class, like AA and stuff like that, long course. We were watching all them, and then I came back, and my mom was like, "You never came back to pick up your trophy." It's like, what? She's like, "Yeah, you got first place." I was like, "Oh, sick." I think that was like the last first place trophy I've ever gotten. So.
Was that the handlebars one?
No, that was at Riverdale.
Oh, so you have gotten one since then.
I think that was before, though. I don't know.
Oh,
Those were all. That was in the same year, though.
okay.
And yeah, so after 65, it was 85. KTM 85. That was.
It was
That
tricked
was
out,
a
wasn't
fun
it?
bike. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
a bored out
well,
105.
It's like board to a 105.
Yeah, I had a 105 kit in it. And
Or
I
big
can't
wheel kit.
remember if we had to rebuild the motor or not. I'm pretty sure we didn't on that one.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I was bored out 105. I got new rims and hubs for it, black rims with like orange hubs. So it actually looked pretty cool. I think it was like a 2008 or 9. And yeah, I had a lot of fun on that. Like I rode that for a year, like a year and a half, 2 years. Had a great time on it. Sold it to a buddy, and ever since then that bike's been trashed. I've seen it to this day. There's like no back fender on it. The suspension literally drops to the back tire. It's gone. And after 85, got the YZ125. Pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah. 2013 YZ125. Got that. It needed a little work. I rode it for a while, but then I blew a piston. So we had the whole motor rebuilt and everything. And pretty much brand new. Put a new hour meter on it to, track the engine. By the time I sold it, I had like 32 hours on it, 35, somewhere around there. So it was like brand new engine on that thing. Didn't even ride it for that much longer, and I just needed something bigger because I was too big for it. So sold that, and then got the KTM 350, which I still have.
SX.
Yeah, I got.
So I have the XCF. He has the SX.
Yeah, and
Well, we still have it. We need to sell it, but
yeah, I don't know what happened to the starter. I don't even know what you call it, but the starter won't work at all. So I can't even start the bike right now. But used that for a while. Loved the bike. It's like a super fun bike, super fast, tons of power, but not for my type of riding. I know Kieran could agree. You've rode it a few times.
I love that bike. I mean, I like it just as much as Colton's. I kind of like it more in some aspects just because it's lighter. You could throw it around a little easier. But Colton's in the woods just performs a little bit better. But I do love that bike just as much.
Yeah, I think Colton's extra because he has the cross country. It's just like it's so much easier in the trails. My bike had a problem with stalling everywhere. Couldn't get it started again. And just the gearing was not meant. I mean, it's a race bike, so I don't know what you expect, but it was just not good in the trails and my type of riding. So,
what's your favorite memory on that bike?
Favorite memory on the 350?
Yeah.
Let's see. I did a lot on the 350. Favorite memory on the 350, I gotta say, I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was one of my first races. I think it was at Riverdale. And I'm on the line, and flag waves. I go to start the bike because it's dead engine, and it doesn't start at all. I'm sitting there, I'm last on the line, and I'm trying to get this stupid thing started. Finally get it started, get up to the first corner. I'm starting to catch the people in the back, and then it stalls again. and I'm literally like dead last. Everyone's way ahead of me. And I actually came back a lot. I passed Bill like the second lap. All of a sudden I came up behind him. I'm like, Bill, what are you doing? And I passed him.
If you're listening to this.
I was pushing hard because I was pissed. I was like, I gotta push hard. And I was pushing too hard. I caught Colton, passed him, pushed way too hard, lost all my energy. Colton passed me again. And I don't know what I ended that race in, but yeah, it was a tough race. But I pushed that bike really hard. But it was a lot of fun. I just had problems with stalling, and I crashed once, but it wasn't that bad. So that's probably my favorite memory on that bike.
Yeah,
that was a fun race. You didn't do one for your 125. What was your favorite memory on your 125?
125.
You did a lot of races on that. I remember one of my favorite memories was a race. What's that place that doesn't have the track but has that big mud bog that you got stuck in one time?
Oh, Yak Ranch.
Yak Ranch, yeah. So he's racing around at Yak Ranch. He's doing this race. That's I was doing the long course. So I did the big race after his race. So he was doing the short one. He was doing 15 and under class, and he was racing his rival Hayden, and they were passing each other back and forth for a long time. And Elijah got out in front.
Oh,
and they were in this big grass corner section. And he comes out of the woods into the grass here, and then he goes to pull his front brake, and there's nothing there. And he just lands on his side and slides right under the ribbon all the way into the bushes, and then he disappears. You just can't see him.
I remember that.
Him and his whole bike slide out all the way in the bushes. We're like, where the hell did he go? What the heck? Hayden goes by, and he's behind him again, but then he ended up catching him again before the race ended, right?
Yeah, it was, I had tons of problems. So my first lap on that race, we were in the trail section, and I came around a corner, and we're about to all go through this little tree, like you had to fit between these two trees, and a kid crashed right in front of me. So my front tire, the brake line, hit his sprocket or whatever. I don't know what it hit. It hit his swing arm or something, and it tore my brake line, and so all my brake fluid fell out, and I had no front brake the whole race. So I had to every time I'd pull in the front brake, it wouldn't be there. So I had to quickly hit my back brake, and I came around that corner, and it's all grass in this little spot right here. And I hit my back brake, and my back tire just slides right out from under me. I go way under the ribbon. I slide 20 feet.
It was that same place too. You broke your ankle on the 120 on the 65.
65. Yeah, I broke my ankle.
That same exact place. Yeah.
Literally, first two corners. Came around this little corner, and there's this little V drop. There was a tire. There's a little tire section in front of it. Went over the tires, dropped into this little V, and my foot got sucked under my peg, and it just twisted my ankle and broke the growth plate in it.
Yeah,
that was a pretty disappointing day.
We'll get into your mishaps and broken bones and stuff, but finish up your bike list. So after the 350,
yeah, so 350. I still have the 350, and I just got. I think I only have 15 hours on it. KTM 300 XC, and it's probably the best bike I've ever owned. I can say that. It has the power. I can lug it anywhere. Just like in Shelton yesterday in those tight trails, I could lug it the whole time. Very good top speed. It's just an all-around good bike. I don't know if you've ever ridden mine or my dad's, Kieran, but definitely going to have to try it out.
I've ridden 300s before. It's got to be one of the all-time top-tier bikes. I mean, you could do anything and everything with it, and it has the power to do anything. It'll go up.
Yeah.
If you have a path up the side of a mountain, it'll fucking climb it. That thing's got so much power underneath it, and it's so light to throw around. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But it's not like a YZ250 or something, or like a KX500 or CR500 or anything. It's not going to whip you off the back end of it. That's what I love about it.
No, not at all.
They're very, very balanced bikes, but they got a shit ton of power to them.
I haven't. I have had a little bit of issues for some reason. Something going on with the ECU in it. It's like the mixture of the fuel. It got cold during the winter, and I started fouling plugs. I don't know if I need to do some ECU differences or if it's just like the starting.
Too, because
I think it's like the way you have to start the bike when it's cold. But I'm not sure. I fouled like
because Dad's did the same thing.
Yeah,
he fouled.
Did like plugs. 4 or 5 plugs I went through.
Wow.
From the cold. And
do they have a warranty? Like
well, I don't know
warranty?
If it's. I don't know. I looked up on YouTube because my buddy he has a 2022. Where's it? 2021. I don't know. XCW 250, and he's fouling plugs, and he just got the thing. He has 5 hours on it. So
right.
I think it's all like the ECU, just the fuel mixture problems.
I think so too. I think either the ECU or what is reading your fuel mixture is not reading correctly based on elevation gain. Now, I don't know if there's something you have to go in and change. Normally, you don't have to do that with fuel-injected bikes. They already figure it out. But maybe there is a ECU tuner out there that you can get, or you have to go get it tuned for a certain elevation, because if your air fuel mixture is not correct, it's not going to run right, and you're going to foul plugs like crazy because it's running rich.
Yeah, I was up in first when I started noticing problems, I was up in Idaho, which is a lot higher elevation than here. We were up in the mountains going hunting, and I noticed the whole time I was there, my bike was like, it wasn't bogging, but it was like at the point that it wanted to bog. Like it was all gunked up most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was just thinking, because it was freezing there, like actually freezing. So I thought that was just the problem. But then when I got back, it kept doing it, and then I started finding plugs, and I was like, all right, there's something definitely going on.
Have you been changing your air filter frequently?
Yeah, I do.
Because that can do it.
That can definitely do it. But no, I change it every time.
If you're not getting enough air in, then it's going to dump more fuel in, and that's when you're going to start fouling plugs.
Yeah.
I think the issue is that it doesn't it tries to read like where the last spot you rode. So it's like when we were in Idaho and we were really, really high. We were up in, the mountains, really high elevation. I can't tell you how exactly high we were, but we were a lot higher than here. And when we came back from there, that's when it started getting bad. And I bet you it was just trying to read what we were at before.
Yeah.
And it might have gotten stuck. It might have gotten
that makes sense.
It might have gotten just different readings and stuff, and wasn't properly coming back to the proper elevation and stuff. And then it was just fouling plugs. I think it's a really new thing. The EFI, I think is what it's called. Or
electronic fuel injection.
Yeah,
EFI. Yeah, that's brand new to bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really new. So it's like you can't expect too much from something so new. But I mean, after 3 years, maybe they've only had it for 2. I can't remember the first bike they've had. I think it was his is the 2021, and then yours is the 22.
Mine's the 22.
Dad's is the 21, but my dad's is having the same issue. So I'm pretty sure it might be a new thing that they need to overcome or need to fix a little bit. But the
bikes always has its kinks that you need to figure out.
Yeah. New bikes always have, those kinks, just like
especially with how much technology they're shoving in one bike.
Yeah, that bike's crazy. Just how much you can do with it.
It's around that problem. It's a great bike. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it other than that.
Which is interesting because we haven't had a new bike brand in a long time, and I'm super interested to see how the Ricky Carmichael's new bike brand, it's not Victory,
Triumph.
It's the Triumph. Yeah,
Triumph. Yeah.
Yeah, they're making a new motocross bike, hopefully for 2023, and it's gonna be really interesting what kind of technology they come out with and how since how new it is, how to see if it works good or not. But I would really love to ride one of those bikes if it's Ricky Carmichael tested, you know?
Yeah, he knows his stuff.
So, yeah, he does. It's pretty crazy.
I haven't heard a lot on that.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, he talked about it somewhat at Supercross this year and stuff, and it was just people have ridden it. It's actually people have ridden it. They just haven't shown anything, or no one's allowed to talk about what's going on with it and stuff. But I guess people have ridden it, like Kevin Windham and Ricky Carmichael. So that'll be cool to find out soon. But anyway, I want to get into all your little mishaps you've had. You like to be the problem child, and every time you go to the emergency room, it's always because of you. So
I can't even remember my first.
Really?
Are we doing all mishaps or dirt bike mishaps?
Just a dirt bike.
Okay, I gotta remember on this, dude. I've had some.
I already know one. Desert 100. Let's start with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, start with that.
Well, I think that was the first one.
Really?
We had talked about that in.
your arm. Wasn't your arm broken from?
My arm first was broken from football.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
But I broke my arm three times.
We had touched on the subject of the Desert 100 in our first podcast a little bit, and we talked about injuries
a little bit.
But I think you have one of the most serious injuries we've seen at that race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough day. It was actually the first day we got there, Friday. Pull up, unload the trailer. We're all fired up. We're at the Desert 100. We're going to go ride. And so we go. And, of course, there's like 1,000 other kids riding at the same time. So all these kids riding, all these people riding. We go over. As soon as you pull into the gate, there's a little, kind of like where the start funnels into the hill. And everyone's jumping over this hill and stuff and riding over it. It's also where, the little loop you could ride on, the off days of not the poker run or the race. There's, this little loop you can take, and it puts you out to this hill. And I'm coming up to this hill. Everyone's going back and forth, and I start going up this tiny little hill, and I see this, I don't know what he was riding. I didn't even get a good look. I think it was like a
It was a YZ250 or something like that, yeah.
It was it was some, I think it was red. Pretty sure it was a CRF 250. It was a dad. Figured out it was a dad. Had his whole family there. Came over this hill, and none of us had any time to react because it's split second. He hits me, I hit him.
Were you in the air? Or
no, he was in the air.
He was in the air coming down, and he was going up. He was right up at the peak.
Yeah, it was there's no time to react. And as soon as he hit me, I get body slammed straight off the back of my bike, hit the ground. And the first thing I thought to myself was, why is there something touching my bottom teeth, while my mouth was open? I was like, what is this feeling that's it was the weirdest feeling. And I get up and run to the top of the little hill, and I'm in shock. I can't even feel this at this moment. I'm in shock, so I'm I feel no pain. I get to the top of the hill. I start waving down people to come help us because this other guy's laying on the ground, not even moving. And some people finally come over, and I just sit down and I start holding my mouth, and my mouth is bleeding, just gushing blood. And so I take off my helmet, and I'm sitting there. I got my cousin ran back. I don't remember if it was Wyatt or Bill. They ran back to the campsite, got our parents, came back. I had Mike, my uncle, sitting next to me. And I was sitting there next to him, still in shock, couldn't really feel it. I was really scared. I had braces on at the time, too. And I turned to him, and I show him my mouth, and he's like, what did he say? He said, well, you broke your braces or something like that. And I was like, so I didn't knock out my teeth? He's like, no, you knocked out your teeth. I was like, damn it. All I could think to myself, I don't know I was 12, something like that. knocked out my 2 front teeth. It was like the right one and then the one next to it. And
Both on the right side.
yeah, both on the right side, and I could feel them hanging in my mouth, but the braces didn't let them go anywhere, so they were just hanging there. And yeah, I started crying. I wasn't crying in pain. I was crying because I was just scared. I was like, what is going to happen now? And I waited there for a while. Paramedics came over and checked me out. My parents brought the car over. Got in the car, and my dad was like, let me look at it. He was looking at it, and he wanted to get it out of my mouth, so he took a pair of wire cutters and cut the braces so that he could take out my teeth. And then they put them in milk, because apparently milk, like, keeps the teeth alive or whatever. Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work. And so we go to the nearest hospital, which was in Odessa.
Moses Lake.
No, I think I got switched to Moses Lake.
Yeah, because there was a dentist professional.
I can't remember if it was the first one was in Moses Lake or the first one was Odessa. I don't think there's one in Odessa.
Moses Lake, because Odessa's got like 3 doctors. That's it. That's like all they do.
Yeah, I think the first one was Moses Lake. And I got there, they put me down, asked me some questions, and then they shoved the teeth back in me, had me hold it there with my hands. And in the car, I fell asleep. My mom took a picture. I was literally holding my teeth and felt like asleep in the car with a towel or whatever they had me holding my teeth in. And then I went to a bigger like dentist professional type thing, and they got my teeth in. I don't know what they did, but they they just shoved them back in there and then did something. And after that trip, I went back and then had a root canal, and one of them died, so it was
pretty
out.
amazed you didn't break any bones.
Yeah.
Well, the other guy, he broke 6 ribs from my bike.
I expect it. I saw it. You guys hit hard, and his bar went right. It hit the top of your front face of the helmet and went right up through it, right up over the top. Smacked you right in the face.
Oh,
yeah, he
man.
went pretty far over the other side of it.
He fractured the gums, the skull behind my gums. It was like a gum fracture, they said. Fractured that and then knocked out my teeth.
That's brutal.
Yeah, I didn't have a tooth forever. Everyone makes fun of me today. I finally got an implant this year. I think it's the end of last year, actually. Finally got a tooth, but I had braces on for a while after, later? And it was like a fake tooth they had connected to the braces, so there wasn't just a gap in my teeth.
That's a brutal one.
Yeah, so that's the Desert 100.
This is a good year this year for the Desert 100. I mean,
oh yeah,
we all got to race this year. It's the 50th annual. They haven't had one in the last 2 years because of COVID, and this year's was really fun. I mean, we all had a bunch of fun in the poker run and stuff, but the race was crazy seeing how many people were there. And on our starting line for the 100-mile race, there was like 1,100 people there on this big starting line. You have to look it up on YouTube if you don't know what we're talking about, but it's pretty sweet. And me and Elijah got a really good start. Elijah got an amazing start. I don't know how he did so good.
Yeah, well, I was confused because should we just talk about this later? Because I'm gonna get too deep into it.
Oh,
Should I finish my broken?
No,
story?
we can continue later. Go ahead.
Talk
about the 100.
Yeah, so we all line up. Colton, I had to wait for Bill because he ran back for a stick because he doesn't have a kickstand. So you and Wyatt went ahead.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I waited for Bill. He finally got a stick. We saw where you guys parked. We were like 20 to 40 bikes down from you. And
I saw you. But
in front of me, I could see a trail to my right. There was like a trail 30 feet to my right. And so I was like, I'm going to take that. I'm going to try to get over there as fast as I can and take that. So that was like that's my only game plan. I don't know. I've never raced this before. I never did the 50. I never did the 100. And we lined up. waiting for the cannon. I thought you would hear the cannon because I'm always so far away watching the race. I didn't know it actually didn't make a sound. So I'm sitting there, finally see the cannon go off.
Usually it does. In the past years, it has.
See,
Yeah, they always exploded it before.
Yeah, it was weird this year. It was only just a big plume of smoke for some reason. It didn't make a sound, which I think everybody was confused because, like, at the start, everybody was standing there, and then all of a sudden there was a huge plume of smoke that came out of the canyon.
And everyone's
and
like,
this
what the
whole
fuck do we
entire
go?
line of 1,000 people started running.
dude, yeah.
And everybody that was coordinating the line and stuff, all the guys that were on the Stump Jumpers program that was coordinating the line, everybody was like, whoa, wait. And the cannon had gone off, and there's like 1,000 people running towards their bikes. And like, there's no way they're stopping this.
No, not at all.
Because it's just because they didn't hear a sound. And I think they messed it up a little bit, but there were so many people running. And then when whoever was right in front of one of the Stump Jumper helpers, they stopped because they were telling everybody to stop so they didn't get to their bikes soon enough. So it was kind of hectic.
That was honestly, I probably could have got a better start if that didn't happen because I started running because I saw the cannon. I started booking it as fast as I could to my bike, and then all of a sudden I look, the guy's like telling us to stop, and so I stop and look at him, and I could just look down the line of like 800 people. I don't know, because we were like the first 100, 200. There was like 800 people. All I could see, because this starting line's like a mile long, and all the way down, I see people running to their bike, and I'm like, no one's stopping. I'm like, no one's stopping.
There's no way.
So I ran to my bike, got on it, and I went to that trail that I saw, and all of a sudden the trail started cutting across like straight down the line. So I was like, crap, I can't take this. So a guy cut right in front of me. I started following him, and we just cut through. We actually had a pretty lucky line because I had nothing in front of me, no bushes. It was just like grass, some rocks here and there.
Yeah, that was the shitty part for me. I literally got lined up right in front of like a mountain and bushes and stuff. And even for getting, like, we were lined up almost 30 feet behind our bikes. And I'm not the fastest guy ever. My brother Wyatt, he's a little skinny guy. And he was hauling ass. He got like 5 or 6 feet on me before we could get to our bikes. And he gets to his bike, takes off, and I'm on my bike, and I take off, and we're hauling ass. And trying to get through all the bushes and stuff took a lot of time. But we eventually found a trail. But I saw somebody come in and like almost take Wyatt out. And that's how I got by him. And then I kind of went way right. And I think I was getting close to you and Bill and found a groove. But I didn't see you again until about the second checkpoint, which was a good 10, 15 miles out.
Yeah, I was. So after following that guy, I'm out in front of the dust because I got maybe a top 15, 20 start, which was pretty good.
And I got probably a top 200 start.
No, it probably wasn't top 20. I don't know what it was. It was definitely top 50 start, for sure, because I didn't have any dust in front of me. Dude, the guy in front of me, we're going, and there's this rock sticking out. I don't know how he didn't see it. Maybe he was going too fast to avoid it, but he hit that rock and went flying. Like, that man, he was flying through the air. He hit the ground so hard. I watched that, and I was like, that guy's not getting up. For sure. I even talked to my mom after. They all saw it. And that guy, yeah, he got taken out by an ambulance. I was like, that was bad. So as soon as I got over the mounds, dust balls, complete dust ball, couldn't see crap. And, yeah, so I didn't have too bad of a start.
I eventually caught you. I didn't know how I caught you because you're pretty fast, but I was catching up to you pretty good. And we got to the checkpoint, and I was rounding the corner, and you looked back, sitting at the checkpoint.
The thing I was thinking the whole time was I wasn't going my hardest because obviously it's a 100-mile race. You're not going to go your hardest in the first whatever. And I wasn't going too fast. I was just trying to keep it cool. Couldn't see because of the dust. I was like way too adrenaline started wearing off, so I was like freaking out almost. I was like, I don't want to go too fast. Hit a rock. There's rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
As soon as I kept, even before I saw you, I just kept looking back because I was paranoid. I'm like, there's no way Colton's gonna there's no way he's gonna catch me. It's like there's so many people. And I look back and I see Colton. I'm like, shit, I gotta go. So I picked up the pace a little bit, I tried to go after that. I was like, oh, I see Colt, I gotta go. I can't let him catch up.
You were fast, dude. I was like, after you saw me and you started having a faster pace, I stayed with you. I wasn't catching you anymore, but I could still see you, and you were about, a good 100 yards ahead of me until I got a rear flat, and then I couldn't do anything about that.
I honestly think, I'm going to be absolutely honest,
20 miles.
Like, our skills on a dirt bike, I got to say, are almost, like, identical.
They're pretty identical.
They're almost pretty much identical.
We could get into this in another podcast about our Norks races and stuff after we get more done, but at the last one, at the Eddyville Goldendale race, our lap times were literally
seconds apart. They were like
milliseconds apart. They were actually like almost exact, which is pretty crazy. I mean, it's a pretty good team, but yeah. So we were hauling ass at a really good pace, but after I got a flat, and then I came into the check, and I got a flat at like 25, 30 miles. So I rode a good 20 miles back to the pits on a rear flat. And by the time I got back to the pits, they were telling me I was in like 400th someplace. So I was like, screw this, I'm just going to quit. I don't want to catch another how many people to try to even do good. I just wanted to. I was hoping I could stay up.
50, whatever.
Yeah, that was 50 miles, so whatever. I didn't need to do another one. Just
a rear flat.
I mean, I've done it already twice. So
going that far with a rear flat sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Especially there, dude. The rocks was crazy.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm pretty sure I tacoed my rim, dude. I was looking at it today. I was spinning it on the stand. I was like, yeah, that's a little bit. I was like, screw it. I don't have the money for a new rim. So
I don't know.
Run it.
Do you remember a lot of rocks, Karen?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's sand, but then it's like, I don't even know. It's kind of like gorges. So as soon as you start to gain a little bit of elevation, it's just all rock. A lot of the hills that they have are all rock. There's some sections that are just straight, almost like lava rock-ish.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Not really, but kind of like that moon rock kind of.
Yeah.
Or like rock shelves that you're trying to get up and over. I remember a few years back, I don't know if they run that section anymore, but it was a hill climb that was all rock, and it was probably like, I don't know, maybe
they had that this year.
Maybe like I don't remember how long it was, probably like 100-foot hill climb, but there was only like 2 lines going up it, and that was always just like the shittiest part of the race because you're sitting in a line and then somebody fucks up and you're trying to get up the hill, trying to pass them. It was just miserable.
Yeah, but this year it was, because since I was out in front mostly, like I was, I think I was in like top 40, 50 by the time I got to that hill climb. Mm-hmm. There was like one person ahead of me, so I didn't really have anyone in my way, but I noticed everyone was going straight and trying to take like the long way, so it was kind of like you could take a quick right and go like straight up and hit these rocks, or you could
go left and it's a little bit easier, but you have to go up and around.
Yeah. And I noticed like 2 or 3 people going that way, and they were like having a little bit of trouble, so I just cut right and went straight up. And yeah, dude, it's just straight rock, like I would say like 150-foot hill climb.
I had to do that hill climb with the rear flat during the race. I just like eased my bike up it all the way because how badly rocky it was. If I tried to actually ride up, I would have screwed my rear wheel. That would have been bad.
Oh, you would have fucked up so bad.
I don't think it wasn't too bad the first lap, but the second lap I pulled up, all the 50 riders are there. Everyone that I could catch. All these 50 riders sitting at the bottom.
He means like, 50 riders because there's 2 waves. There's a 100-mile wave, and then they do another wave of just the guys that are doing 50 miles. And so after the 100-mile wave does 1 lap, they're out doing another, catching all of the guys that are just doing the 50-mile race. And so he came up to this hill climb, and I've done it too before, because I've done the 100 twice, and you come up to some hill climbs and there's like 100 people.
Yeah, dude, there's like, I'd say there's about 75 people at this base of the hill climb, and I'm trying to weave through everyone. I'm like, get out of my way, because they're all sitting there waiting for everyone to get up, but there's only like 5 people on the hill climb, but they're too scared to go. So I'm like weaving everyone. I get in between these two bikes and I push one of the handlebars out of my way because everyone's just sitting there like waiting. I'm like, I don't have time for this. So I like revved my bike and then pushed their handlebars. I didn't knock them over. I wasn't trying to be rude, but I just
It's a
pushed
race, though.
Yeah, I know it's a race. I knew I was doing pretty good. So I was like, just get out of my way. And I cut to that right again, like straight right on the second lap because no one's going up that. They don't want to go up that part, which I could do it because I've been riding for a while, but it was definitely harder than the other way. So I was able to pass all those people just sitting there.
I remember one year during the race when Ricky Russell won it. I was one of the ones on my KX100 sitting at one of those hill climbs, and I was like, I mean, there wasn't a ton of people there, so it was like we were about to go up. We just came up to it, and we were like looking at it for just a second. It wasn't like we were sitting there for 15 minutes, but we went up to it, looked at it because there was people down right in front of where they were supposed to go, and so I just waited for them to get up really quick to go. And out of the corner of my eye, I see Ricky Russell in the middle of the bushes in the rocks. Like, there's not even a line there, but he's making his own line, just jumping boulders, going through the bushes, jumping these little cliff rocks all the way up and around. It was the most impressive thing ever. It's just like, oh, that's a line? I didn't know that. So I didn't know that was physically possible.
Dude, those guys, no, they don't even think about lines. They think about going.
Yeah.
I've seen guys pass me this year. I'm on the trail, and they just zoom by me on the side, like they're in bushes.
In the bushes, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing 40 miles an hour. How are you doing 60 through the bushes?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Freaking crazy, but anyway, yeah, this year's Desert 100 is good. Next year we should do a live show at the next 100 and can record it all, and you need to come next year, Kieran.
Yeah, I'll try. Come be your media guy.
Try. You're gonna be there.
Yeah, you're gonna be there.
I ain't gonna race it. So, what did you end up placing this year?
So, came in, felt pretty good. I'm glad I beat my buddy Kevin, and I saw Jabe out there. I passed Jabe, and I came up next to him, and I saw his number plate. I'm like, oh, it's Jabe, and he had a bad wreck. He was doing pretty good, too. He's probably top 20, top 10, maybe. I think he was top 10. And he was flying. And this was towards the end of the first lap. So he already had a good lead on me. And I pull up next to him, and I notice it's Jay, and I'm going I go past him. And I'm like, why am I passing Jay right now? What's going on? And I look back, and I'm like, yo! And I just keep going. I talked to him after the race, and he had a pretty bad wreck. And like beat up his swing arm.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, he had a nasty fall, which sucks because he probably could have done really good. And so I came in, got 46th overall, and 20th in my class, which was open for the 100.
It's pretty good considering 1,000 riders. For the 100.
I think it came out to be 955 total for the 100.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think like 200, 300 people did DNF'd. Didn't even finish.
I think it was like 335 DNF'd.
Yeah.
From flats.
It's mostly because people don't want to do a second lap. But
I think it's also because I know there's a ton of people out. Like, I know it's not everyone's trying to race, but there's definitely a good few that are going out there like you've seen those stupid bikes people take out, like a super old bike or like a bike that's
people take
out there.
Motorcycles with dirt bike tires on them are like ridiculous. Like, they'll take a freaking Harley Street Glide out there, freaking Harley Street Glide with dirt bike tires, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this 100 miles," and they get 5 miles in and then break down. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's like it's also if the leader laps you by the time you can finish 50, then you can't do a second lap. So
yeah, which they're hauling.
Yeah, if you get lapped on the first, then you're still on your first lap. Then
Paul Nuff, and that guy's
Paul Nuff.
fast.
Yeah, that guy. I didn't even know who he was, to be honest.
Yeah,
I looked him up.
I guess he's got a riding school here in Washington.
That's cool. He was hauling. I know there was someone ahead of him for a while. and he caught him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was I don't know it was the guy who got third, I'm pretty sure, was in first for a while.
He probably,
I don't know what happened.
either he crashed or he just wore himself out too fast. But anyway, you want to get into your other broken bones?
Yeah, so, okay, off from the Desert 100. These are a couple at home. I have a few at home. Stupid ones at home. I guess I could go to like the collarbone. Huh?
We were standing on top of your bike.
Yeah, so...
Well, first, you did your collarbone. Was that on the 85 at Washington?
That was on the 85, yeah. But, so, we're at home, riding pit bikes around, and our buddies, they live, Kieran. Pretty sure I was heading to your house, Kieran, when you still lived in the Buttes. I was riding down, and for some dumb idea, dumb kid, stand on my seat, which is, I mean, I've done that before, but then I have a bright idea of letting go of the handlebars and trying to surf the bike while it's going. No idea why I thought that would be a good idea, but I'm literally, I let go of the handlebars, and as soon as I let go of the handlebars, I'm trying to surf, totally lose balance, and just bite it on the gravel, and broke my arm. And that was the second time I broke my arm, because the first time it was in football. So that was the second time. Third time I broke my arm, I was on Colton's YZ250. Wait, what was it?
You're on my 250. Oh, my two-stroke?
Yeah.
YZ250.
Yeah. I was on your 250, and I was up in the power lines riding around. And there's like this, it was before they put gravel on it again. It was this little like mud hole, and there was like ruts, and I didn't see the ruts, and I went in it, and it like corrected my front wheel, and I just like fell, and I like reached my arm out, and yeah, I just snapped my wrist from falling in a rut wrong.
That's crazy because I've done that so many times. I've never broken any of my arms or wrists or anything.
The throttle got stuck and I didn't realize it. Well, I did, but I was like picked it up to try to move it forward, and the bike like shot out from under me into the bushes, like next to me. I was like, yeah,
gone.
And that bike has power. You know it has power.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like
tons of power.
All of a sudden, bam. Yeah, so I took it back and I was like, Mom, my wrists don't feel good. And I went and got an x-ray, and yeah, it was broke. So that was the third time. And I think after that, pretty sure it was after this, I'm on my 85. No, this was probably before that. 85, Washougal. We go there for camping. We get there. There's the Muscle Milk Series, which is on this Saturday. So me and Colton decided to do this Muscle Milk Series, and Wyatt.
Yeah.
And the North Race was Sunday. So we do this motos. My dad signed me up for the intermediate class for God knows what reason. I never do moto. And I go out there. I get 13th trash, my first race out of, I think it was 21. And these kids are crazy, dude. They're like whipping over the triple. They're like going crazy. I'm like, I don't know why I'm in this. I'm an off-road racer. I can't do all this. And second moto, go out there. I already know what it's like and everything. Came over the big single after the triple, and there used to be like a sand section there. I don't know if it still has a sand section there, but there's like these huge divots, and I had no idea these divots were here. And they got so big that when I hit one, my whole back end dropped in it, and I hit. It's kind of like whoops, like whoop-de-doos or whatever. And it just shot me off my bike like 10 feet, 20 feet in the air. And I just landed straight on my shoulder and snapped my collarbone. And I got up and I was just holding it. Because I couldn't hang it. It wasn't like, I couldn't feel it. I couldn't like move it at all. And got off to the side of the track. I don't know why. I think it was just in the moment. I was like, so much adrenaline. I was like yelling at the flagger to pick up my bike. I don't even know why. The guy's sitting there trying to like wave the flag to crash. I'm like, pick up my bike, pick it up. Because like everyone's like riding around it. I don't know why. I was just freaking out. And quad came over, took me back over to the trailer. My parents took me, went and got an x-ray. Of course, I snapped my collarbone, came back, camped the rest of the time. Pretty sure Wyatt broke his nose the next day. Was it the Norks day?
Yeah, it was literally the next day.
Next day, Wyatt broke his nose.
We
coming down
all
the
had
hill.
a terrible weekend.
Yeah, that was a terrible weekend. What'd you snap? You snapped something off your bike?
Yeah, I broke my header. So the header coming out of my motor was cracked because of the heat. And with all those, there's some big ass downhills there, and it just all the backfire, all the external heat coming out of the bike from just engine braking, just put a huge crack in my header, and I didn't even notice. I raced that whole day, and that's when it happened, was during the day. And then we were getting ready and went out racing for our normal series, our Norks race series, and coming to the pits, and Wyatt sitting there with a broken nose and blood all over his face. And then I'm sitting here like, my bike isn't running right. I'm like yelling at my dad, like, what the hell's going on? Like, I don't know what's happening. It just is backfiring and spitting flames. And it's like, it's not running correctly. It's bogging out and stuff. It won't start when I stall it. And it was stalling really easy. And let alone there was like a huge, like it was like 3 inches long, and it got to about a half-inch wide crack right on my header. And so it was just sucking air really bad when it was decelling and stuff. So none of us finished any of the Norks race that weekend.
That was
even though that was the only race we were there for. We ruined ourselves on the day before a race. But you know, I'm going to do it again this year. Send it, dude, right?
Well, I mean, we did it last year. That was a mud race.
Yeah, it was. It was muddy.
It was bad mud.
Just like the regionals this weekend. Wyatt went for the regionals. Did you see any videos?
Dude, gnarly.
It was like both legs out, ruts 2 feet deep, the whole track.
Wyatt sent me a picture. I have it on my phone. Wyatt sent me a picture, and dude, it was straight, just chaos.
Yeah, you can't even tell who that is.
I saw a video.
Just one of those races where you can't even tell who anybody is. They're just covered in mud.
Yeah, I saw a video on TikTok. A kid, he got a ticket.
So did Wyatt. I got a ticket.
Yeah, he got a ticket. He needs 2, but this kid got one, and I was looking at how they were racing, and dude, it was just complete straight mud. It was worse than when we raced.
Yeah, way worse. Anyway,
is that even testing your ability
I know, right?
For racing, or is that just testing how if your bike survives and if you can ride in mud?
Yeah, that's just if your bike survives. You probably rebuilt the bike after that race. I know people that usually quit because they don't have the money to rebuild their bikes during those races, just if they're straight mudders like that. Yeah, it's rough. Anyway, you think of any other ones?
After collarbone, have I broken anything else on a dirt bike?
Well, you broke most of the stuff in growth plates, like your ankle, your knee.
Yeah, my ankle. That was at Yak Ranch. Talked about it earlier. Like, just I don't know what it happened so fast. I came around the first corner, came around the second corner, dropped in that divot, and all of a sudden my whole leg just gets tugged, and I could just as soon as it happened, I felt a huge pain in my ankle. Went around another corner, and I just dropped my bike and sat there, and I was like, there's something definitely wrong. I can't even stand up on it. It hurt so bad. Had, pretty sure it was Sean, Hayden's dad, came over and picked me up and brought me over out into the open to Dad. Dad came over, and then they brought over some paramedics.
He was glad to get you off the track so his son can win. You beat his son like every race.
That's good. Hayden's so fast now. I can't keep up with Hayden anymore.
He flew by me at this last Golden Deal race.
Yeah, dude. I can't. There's no way I could beat him now. He just rides too much. I don't ride enough to keep up with those guys anymore. But yeah, me and Hayden always went back and forth when we were little.
Those are good times.
Yeah, snapped my growth plate. Yeah, just cracked my growth plate on my left ankle and had a cast for a while, but I also snapped my growth plate in my kneecap, but that was from football. And then I also had, I did have another crash on a dirt bike. I broke my collarbone again, this was more recent. I think this was 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. We were up on the Powerline Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think this was 2.5 years ago.
Again.
I'm guessing around
Up on
there.
the Powerline Hill again.
Yeah, this is Powerline Hill. We're all riding, have a bunch of buddies over, and we're riding. And Kieran knows how gnarly the Powerline Hill is. We're coming down it, and I had no idea. We had another buddy coming over, and he was coming up the hill, and I came around the corner, and I'm just going way too fast down it. And I came around this corner, he came around it too late. We ran straight into each other, and I flew down and just landed straight on my shoulder again. And his bike, dude, his front wheel was like, it was like facing the opposite direction of his handlebars, dude. I don't even know what happened. But I hit his bike so hard, flew, and broke my collarbone. And then I had Brennan Hart. He took me down back to my house. But yeah, that's the second time I broke my collarbone.
Yeah, some pretty brutal stuff. I mean, me and Kieran have had our fair share of crashes, but have you ever broken a bone on a dirt bike, Kieran?
Oh, I don't even know if you want to get into this right now. I've broken
How'd you tear your
ribs.
ACL again?
I did that.
Yeah, you have.
longboarding. That was stupid.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was a long accident, but yeah, I did that on a longboard. That cost me a year of healing. That was ACL.
It was more than a year, dude. You were hurting. You were like it. You never were the same after
You
that.
still feel it, yeah.
No, I still feel it. I mean, I walk funny now because I was lazy doing PT. So my left foot angles out, so I kind of walk like a fucking duck. Which in turn hurts my back and it hurts my hip. Like my hip's out of whack and back's out of whack.
Yeah, you need to go back to PT and correct that.
I do. But yeah, that was not fun. That was about a year until I could start really doing anything again. That was miserable. But dirt bike wise, I've had like little crashes here and there. Out in China Hat in Oregon, I had a really good one. I was doing out there, like it's so diverse in that area. I mean, you have desert, you have mountains, and then you have rock, like all within like 60 miles. Like it's just crazy the different stuff that you could do. But a lot of that area up in the mountain area is snowmobile trails because the elevation gain so good. And all these snowmobile trails are all really groomed nice. It's like pebbly stone. So you can haul ass through these trails. And a lot of them have huge corners, like humongous. Like you'd never think you'd see a berm that big in the woods. It's just huge pebble berms in these woods. And you could just haul ass through them. So I was hauling ass through them. And there's a lot of hills that you could hit them third gear tapped, if not a little bit faster, and just float these hills because they're all just huge floaters. And I went down, did a turn. I came out of it maybe doing, I don't know, 25, 30. And I was like, there's a hill coming up. So I was like, I'm going to fucking shoot off this thing. And I launch over the top. And little did I know, right at the top, instead of continuing, it turns right, immediate right. And I go over this.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's sketchy. I go up over the hill, and I'm in the air, and I just smashed. So there was like 3 trees. It was like one tree was like a double tree. It was like a single trunk that like split to a Y, and there was a tree in the behind them in the center. So I flew. I don't even know how far. It was probably a good 30 feet.
Dude, and most of those trees, you look at them now, they have no bark on them.
Oh no! Every that trail, every single tree in that area had no bark on them. Like there was trees that were completely taken out because the amount of people that have eaten shit on that trail, it was ridiculous. But I launched in the air and then flew about 30 feet, hit the one tree. My bars hit either side or both of the Y trees, and then because it was like perfect, my tire went like right in between them, but my handlebar stopped the bike, and I smacked forward and broke my ribs on the third tree sitting behind it. That was a really good one. I spent that was probably the second day we were out there. We were out there for a week, and we didn't go to the hospital because my dad's freaking like, oh, suck it up, you're fine.
Suck it up.
I never even went to the hospital. I'm pretty sure I had probably like 5 broken ribs, if not more. Could not breathe, sat in a chair, slept in a chair. But other than that, I've had a really good crash at your guys' place, your compound. It was like second week of summertime when I was in high school. So I was working for your dad, and then I came over after work with Colton. I was like, let's go ride, and I decided to ride your brother's brand new 150R, and I didn't check if there was fuel in it. Decided to hit a double, stalls midair, smacks the face of the second of the double, and I went flying forward, put my hands out, broke my collarbone, and then the bike did like a few flips and then like scissored me on both sides of my leg. I don't know how it didn't fuck me up, but it scissored my left and right leg in between the fender and the rear wheel, cut me on both legs.
It was pretty impressive. I watched it. I was like, that was freaking cool.
Yeah.
It barely missed it.
It wasn't that cool for me. I had to buy.
That tire would have hit him. That would have been bad.
That 150 was brand new. I had to buy your brother a brand new $400 FMF with all the money I just made. And then it couldn't work all summer. And then, I don't know. I can't think of any other major ones. I've broke stuff. I haven't really broken much I've fractured ankles and whatnot, just being stupid, doing wheelies on the road, or, you know, had good tree smacks before, really good crashes. I think that's
a good story about smacking a tree.
I think my last one though is at the Desert 100. I got my head ran over, and I got a concussion from that. Because a guy was going in front of me.
You were so dazed for like a couple days.
I mean, the guy, he was going in front of me. I'm not damn near as fast as you guys, especially at that time. I mean, I'm decent, but that guy went down in front of me. He hit a pothole, went over the bars, huge cloud of smoke. We're all doing like 50 plus, and I run into him, get shot over him because I hit him and the divot, and then I don't know where in the mix, but somebody ran over my head, and I got up after I knocked out for a good 20 seconds, got up, grabbed my bike, pulled to the side of the trail, couldn't feel my head. I don't know, I just sat there. I think I fell asleep for a good 20 minutes, and then sat around for another 45 minutes, and I was like, all right, I got to do something, because that race has no side trails. When you're hurt, there's no side trails or roads to get back to camp. You have to finish the race. So I was like, well, I'm decent enough to ride back, so I cruised back, putting third, another 40 miles. Or no, I wasn't 40 miles. It was probably another 25 miles. I think I got about 25 miles in when that happened. But yeah, I think that's about it. Other than that, just little crashes here and there, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, same for me. I haven't really had any big ones on my bike, just hitting trees here and there and eating shit. And I've never broken anything, even though I've hit the ground pretty hard sometimes. But
you know what I'm talking about from you hitting the tree, though?
When?
Hunting with the quads.
Oh, yeah, that was just the quad. I came around a corner and just absolutely smacked a tree with my dad's brand new King quad. But I think we're gonna get into Hangtown picks for next weekend. So Elijah, who you got for first through fifth?
Bro, who's healthy anymore?
Lots of guys. Well, you don't have Mookie.
Nope.
And you don't have who else do you have?
I mean, I have to go with my boy Eli.
You want Eli? I mean, he's not really that healthy. So I think
No.
it's going to take a couple races for him to be in
didn't
that
perform
mix,
too good last week. I'd have to say, dude, I would love to see Dungey win. I don't know why. it'd just be cool to come back to a little win. I don't know. Maybe that'd give him more confidence to finish out the year. I don't even know if he's said he's going to finish out the year.
I think he said he's going to do the rest. Yeah.
But I don't know. That would be cool. Maybe Roxon too. Even though Roxon is not my favorite, I'm not the biggest fan of Roxon. It'd be cool to see him since all those problems he's been having since Supercross. That'd be cool to see him win. Sexton, didn't expect him to win, but that was he's kind of like a bipolar rider. He could do really good one week and then just do terrible the next. So I'm not sure about him. I'd have to say, what am I gonna put? I'll put Roxon first. I think he'll take that. He's building back his confidence. I bet that. What did he get, second last week?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's probably a real confidence booster for him. And second, I don't know. I'm gonna put.
You got Aaron Plessinger. You got Barsha. You got
Aaron's
Anderson,
back.
Tomac, Dungey, Anthony Caroli.
I'm gonna have to
Christian
put
Craig. Christian Craig did really good.
What did Craig get?
Third.
Yeah, he did get third. That is pretty good. I'll put Dungey as second and Craig as third.
Really? You're going to pick Sexton for down the line, huh?
Sexton got
Dude,
first.
he's bipolar. He's bipolar, though, man. He can have good races.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll put
He can eat.
Dungey, Craig, Sexton. Who am I missing here? I'm missing some.
Tomac.
I know I'm missing Tomac. Anderson? God, this is a hard top five.
Plessinger.
This is a hard top five here.
I'm probably missing people too. There's Jeremy Martin. He did really good.
Yeah, so what do I have? I have 4.
Yeah, Roxon, Dungey, Craig.
I'm going to put
Sexton.
Eli. I got to put Eli. I forgot Anderson. How did Anderson do?
He got 6th overall.
Yeah, he went like.
I didn't.
Overall.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I didn't watch last week. I still need to watch it. I didn't see how they performed, but I mean, Eli in his prime for outdoors is crazy. I'd like to see him do good, but I just need him, get more healthy.
What about you, Kieran? Who's your top 5?
Top 5, I'm going Sexton first place. As long as he doesn't fuck up. I'm going to go Craig second, Roxon third, Jason fourth. I'm going to go Tomac fifth because I think he's going to – Hangtown's pretty hilly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It's got some
pretty diverse.
Pretty diverse. I think I'm going to go Eli fifth place, and then who didn't I say? I think Dungey's. Wait, no, we're doing
Your
top
man
5.
Jason's taking 4th. Is that what you're getting here?
Yeah, Jason's going 4th. Dungey 5th again. I think the only reason I say Jason 4th is I think Jason rode really good this last weekend, but he had a few mistakes. So I think he'd be the top 4. Like I think he's definitely I think faster than Christian Craig, but if Jason Anderson's very loose, I feel like he's going to have a little mishap that's going to set him back a little bit again, and I think he's going to be about 4th place.
Okay, so you got Sexton, Craig, Roxon, Jason,
yep, and then Dungey.
And then who's your 5th?
Dungey.
I want to change Dungey for some reason. I was thinking of changing Dungey and Sexton, but I kind of want to go Dungey. No, Roxon, Sexton, and then I totally forgot about Anderson before I finished the list. I don't know. I'm gonna keep Eli though. I think Eli will still stay up there. We'll go Anderson there.
4th.
Yeah.
So I think my pick's going to be Roxon, Sexton, Tomac, Plessinger, Craig. I don't think
I think
Plessinger's
Plessinger's going to do pretty good. He's
I
coming
think
off an
so.
injury.
Yeah, he's coming off an injury, and I think his first race back, he did pretty good. What did he get overall?
He got
Can't even
8th
know.
overall.
8th overall. So I think he's up there. I mean, he was hanging out with Antonio Caroli a little bit. He hung out with Jason Anderson quite a bit. So I think he's right there in the mix. He's going to be doing really good. I mean, last year he had a win. So he's really good in outdoors, and I think he's going to step it up being with Red Bull
Definitely think he
KTM and
needs
being with the Baker's Factory and stuff. I think he's going to come out swinging.
I definitely think he needs a few rides for him to get back in his groove.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely needs a couple, but I think he's going to do pretty good. So, all right, well, we're going to wrap this thing up. It's getting late. I'm glad all of us could sit down and do this thing.
Yeah, thank you for coming out, Elijah. We'll have to do another podcast with you later down the road.
Yeah.
For sure. Appreciate you guys having me on.
All right,
Check
everybody.
us out on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere you see cool shit. And we'll definitely get that video up of Elijah eating crap ham again on YouTube. So I'll try to get that over there. But
Yep.
if you want to hear anything else, if you want to ask any questions, if you want us to get anybody specific on, reach out to us either on any of those platforms. We'll try to get those questions answered, get everything sorted away. So what do you have to say?
Yep. Thank you all for listening very much. This is podcast 3, and we're out.
Peace out.